Okay, welcome to tonight's live stream. As I explained in the first show, this is myself just talking about little things that I've realised in my journey, things that have helped me gain clarity, things that have given me confidence, enabled me to become more empowered. Basically, anything that got me back on the path that I should have been on. Tonight, I want to talk about a particular instance which took place during my second marriage. Now, my second marriage was quite a volatile and toxic relationship. Uh, Certainly took a lot out of me, and being free of that enabled me to find myself, which was a good thing. However, it did give me the opportunity while I was in the relationship to learn about myself and empower myself. And I wanted to talk about one in particular, which I found very life changing, very affirming, very empowering. My then wife, one day in a fit of anger during one of our arguments, said that I should seek professional help because there was something wrong with me. And being one of these people who at the time was a little bit suggestible, I thought, you know what? I may as well go and find out. So I went to um, the internet and I did a search and I found a psychologist that was nearby. And it was a woman, not that that makes any difference. And I booked myself a series of sessions. So I went along, and these sessions, they weren't quite what I thought they would be. And it's the one thing that I've realised now: if you're seeking professional help from anyone in any form, is find someone who clicks and resonates with you. Now, this lady didn't totally resonate with me, but I thought I would persist. So, this first session, she basically spoke about remaining calm and all of this sort of thing. And I went away thinking, yeah, okay, well, it was a bit sort of iffy as a result from what I was expecting, considering it was an hour session at whatever it was dollar wise. And so I went the next week to my second session, and again, it was a bit of a not much really happened. And then I was in the middle of the third session, and I suddenly had a big revelation. Now, this for me was huge because I'd always felt that I was a little bit dysfunctional, that there was a little something wrong with me, that it was a little bit something off because I never totally felt like I was really me. And while this woman was talking, I was watching her and listening to her, and this thought slammed into my head. And that's the best word I can think of because it was that sudden. Realizing that, I didn't book any more sessions after that because I realized I didn't need to be fixed. What I did realize is a lot of my tools, my processes, my understandings were a little bit skew-if, some of them a lot skew-if. And the metaphor that I use regularly to explain this is many years ago, I had to chop down a tree. And I may have told this and I'll tell it numerous other times because it's so important that people grasp this. I had to chop down this tree and it was only about the size of my forearm, so it wasn't massive. And I went looking for tools that I could use to cut down the tree. Now, I couldn't find any saws, any chainsaws, any tomahawks, any axes. The only thing I could find was a hammer. So I took this hammer and I started pounding into this poor tree to chop it down. Now, needless to say, it wasn't very effective. It's a blunt instrument trying to chop into something which should use a sharp instrument. However, at the time, that was the only thing I had. So I persisted, and it took probably 10 times longer than it needed. It took a lot of energy. I was pretty exhausted at the end of it, made a hell of a mess. There was wood pulp everywhere. It was shocking. I did get the tree chopped down. It was just a hell of a mess. So, a lot of the time, when we're feeling that we're incomplete, that we're there's something wrong with us, that we're miswired. A lot of the time, we're just trying to deal with a situation using tools, processes, understandings, beliefs, attitudes that are not suited to getting a good result. So, a really good example, with my second wife, we were very volatile with our argument, very toxic. It wasn't pleasant. It didn't achieve anything. It went on for a very long time. And ultimately, nothing was ever resolved. So it flowed over into the next day and the next and the next, and it just kept going on and on. My understanding of conflict then was basic at best. So any conflict that I had was not going to be very effective. Once I learnt better tools, I didn't need to use that hammer anymore. I could go and pick what tool I wanted to use based on the situation. So if you're in a situation where you're just feeling like there's something wrong with you, there's not. We are already complete. A lot of the time, there are parts of ourselves that we've repressed, we've ignored, we've disowned, that we need to bring back within ourselves to make ourselves whole. That's all that needs to happen. We don't need to be fixed. We don't need to be repaired, rewired, or any of this sort of stuff. We just have shitty tools. So if you're struggling with something, don't beat yourself up. Look at your toolbox. If you've only got a few tools in there, you need to stock up on better tools. Start looking for better tools, better processes, better mindsets, behaviors, habits, whatever's needed to get that result. Go looking for better tools. Tools are the key. You're not broken, you just need better tools. And that was basically the revelation that I had. And I doubled down on my learning to learn better tools and to discover new, better tools, because I did read lots of good tools. Some of them resonated with me and I used them. And I also had revelations about things where I created tools for myself so that I could use them and get a better result. So ultimately, it all came down to I didn't need to go to a psychologist. I wasted that money. I wasted my time. I wasted her time. And it was pointless because I wasn't broken. I just needed better tools. Now I've got better tools. Definitely don't need to go to a psychologist. So look at your tools and know this. There is no right or wrong tool. Some tools will resonate with you, some won't. Use the ones that do. The ones that don't, put them away. Don't disparage them. Don't shoot them down because they'll be right for someone. Okay? Every tool is right for someone. So look for the tools that resonate with you. Use them. Get a better result. Don't worry about fixing yourself because you don't need fixing. You're perfect the way you are. You just need to become whole again. Bring all those bits back into you, use better tools, and you'll have the life that you love and that you deserve and that you've always sought. Okay, so that's it for tonight. I'll be doing these every fortnight where I'll be just talking about an epiphany or a revelation or an aha moment that I've had in my life where I've learned something that made a difference to me, and hopefully as I impart it on you, it makes a difference to you. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Go out there, find your tools, create the life that you love. All right, we'll catch you next Tuesday. If you have anything in particular you would like me to explore or talk about, feel free to send me a message, and I'd love to talk about it. Okay, take care of yourselves, and keep up the good work. Keep being you.